Alrighty, except that it isn't. Welcome everyone, I'm Teeaboo and I'm here for Season 3, Episode 3 of 30333 time. And we've just lost everything. I think the little scribble that I did right before turning the camera on says it pretty clearly. Here we are, reaching out into the void with everything shattered around us. Because that's exactly what's happened. In our last episode, we had a wonderful display of teamwork, camaraderie, and love as Amelia, Beatrice, and Subaru went together, even though they couldn't understand everything about the situation. They could know that Subaru was serious, pun not intended. And they faced down a very scary monster, but no bigger than other things they've faced before. A Sin Archbishop, we've fought one of those. Amelia more than held her own. Demonstrated herself as awesome and cool and sexy and hot and strong and resilient and caring and there to support Subaru in his time of need. And it was going really well until that motherfucking asshole popped up. Regulus Corneus. Greed. Man with way too many fucking wives has chosen Amelia as his next. What a perfect polar foil opposite in some ways to the man that Subaru wants to be. This person who takes so much. It's interesting. I wonder how much good juxtaposition we can pull out of placing these two characters in opposition. Having them fight over the most important thing of all, the idea of what love means and the ability to change the world to make that true. Because they're fighting over Amelia, but each of them is fighting over her from a very different perspective and sees very different things in her. We're not exactly certain of everything that Regulus wants, but we can be clear that he wants Amelia in the way that a person wants a fancy car. That he wants to own her. And that's why he's so comfortable with taking her, because she is, after all, a thing that is property that can be taken. And her own mind makes little difference in the matter from what we can tell. Subaru is very different from this. As we've seen, he wants genuinely to please her. But I wonder if we'll be able to unpack the sort of shadowed implications that a character like Regulus Corneus presents us. Because there's an element of partnership that can be a little bit strange and a little bit owner-y, a little bit transactional and possessive. And now we're in a circumstance where our noble boy has had the person he loves taken away from him, and he needs to figure out how to react to that. And how to act when this big center of who he is, who he has sworn to protect, sworn that he will go after if she should ever be kidnapped. This center is gone. And everything might crumble around it. So what is it that lets a relationship survive the external forces that would conspire to tear it apart? And what is it about one viewpoint on what a relationship is and what a person is and what Amelia is worth and how we evaluate that makes it capable of winning out as a philosophy, as a set of ideas, over whatever set of ideas Regulus Corneus presents? That, to me, is the framed story that we're really trying to work on here. What is it about our protagonist, the character that we root for, that will make us believe that he is noble in his pursuit and that his enemies are not? And how can we emulate that in our own lives? What can we learn from it? What pieces of ourselves can we examine and recognize as part of that other side? And how can we incorporate that into like a whole state of being that includes those urges toward desiring and possessing in a way that's harmonious and helpful and healthy within the bounds of the relationship? And of course, how can we use all the little stories that are going on around and all the pieces of interactions between people to grow everyone as a whole throughout this journey? Centering things around Amelia and there being problems that we have to solve around Amelia's existence is really cool. But I love that we've gotten to this point of feeling really resilient in the relationship and then cut it apart, because it gives us another crack to heal, another shattering that we can glue the gold, the kintsugi in, and make a new art piece out of, right? And grow our relationship and our whole experience of living together a little bit stronger. And I think that itself is the winning perspective, perhaps, is like our relationship can't be broken because our relationship is founded on the process of rebuilding our relationship. And stealing Amelia from me can't take Amelia from me, because I will always follow up and I will always get back and I will always find all the pieces. And so there's no fear there because there's trust there in what's going to happen next. And there's this understanding that the breakdown is part of the buildup. And to me, that's the winning perspective on the relationship, I think. It's the only one that seems to work for me right now. And of course it is. It's like, oh, duh, that makes so much sense, because that's the same perspective that works for me in my relationship with self and relationship with the world and existence. Is like, okay, we're in this building process thing that a piece of it is the breaking down. And so if we can look at this setback and be like, this is fucked, what do we do next? And how do we convert this into a win? And how do we organize our friends and allies and our support network so that we can rebound into this and get Amelia back and eliminate this threat and learn more and discover? Yeah. So let's see how Subaru handles this terrible moment. And let's find out about the piece that I haven't spoken about at all yet, which is that this episode is titled Gorgeous Tiger, and I'm so excited to see your boy go out and be a Garfield-styled superhero, saving little children from all sorts of things in the city. I want this to be an ongoing side plot line, and I just need it. I need it, 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 and I love it, and I want it. Thanks so much for joining me for this week's episode of ReZero Season 3. I hope you're enjoying this journey through the season and enjoying it as much as I am, because I think this has been really solid so far. Some people in the comments have mentioned that ReZero is kind of on its shonen thing, and so it's kind of no surprise that I'm vibing with it, and it makes so much sense to me. Yes, we're on our shonen thing. Fuck yeah. And yes, I'm vibing with it. Fuck yeah. Because this is what I love. I love this kind of shit. I'm enjoying the whole aesthetic of the city and the style of the storytelling that we're doing, and I'm really excited by this last minute change in the last episode that really excites things, ignites things, and gets things sort of going for me. So let's stay excited and get into the next episode. Thanks so much for joining me. There will be 2 versions of this reaction video and early access on the Patreon. You can find a picture-in-picture version with a video up there in the corner, linked down there in the description, and the time-based version will just have the subtitles and a timer so you can sync up your own copy. There will be a BB timer for that coming at you pretty soon, and early access available on the Patreon linked in the description. Beep beep timer for episode 3. Yeah, he did save her. Which means you've insulted me. You've insulted me. Everyone's insulting me. That appeases him. Yes, this appeases me. Okay, he plays by a set of rules. He plays by a set of rules. Oh. She's against him. Okay. Or maybe she's just fucking enraged. I'm going to pay attention to the lyrics primarily. But reality is entangled. Mm-hmm. Clinging to the tiniest bit of hope, even if my story has begun to come apart. Okay. My thousand dances with death draw a spiral. Even if it's cut short, I'll knit the future together. For us, that's what it means to live. That's exactly it. It's shattered, and I'm going to reach through it and create it anyway. The strings holding together cause and effect. Play them, we link it to the music. The hope we won't let go of. And we'll reassemble this light right now. I was right on with the kintsugi idea. That's exactly what we're doing here. We're going to hold a thin fishing line of hope between the present and the shattered potential of the future, and we're going to tie it back together and glue it back together more beautiful. Awesome. Oh shit. That's a... Oh shit! That's... My mind goes gluttony. Fuck. Oh, fuck. What? Let the boy cook. Gluttony, then. Auto, run! Run, Auto! Auto! Auto, run. Auto, you're too important. You're the most important character in the story. Run! We? We've gotten that name before. But he said we. Power level difference? I like this background audio. It's cool. It's kind of glitchy. I'm trying to piece together how his logic works. He really seems completely untouched. Yeah. I don't think that's gonna work. Oh, shit. Fuck. Whoa. Emu. That's cool. He got a knot of goop. Alright, we hit him with the hands. We are the same, aren't we? What was that? Fuck. They're so baffling. They're so baffling. The archbishops are always so baffling in what they say versus what they do. Yeah, what the fuck? Oh. Oh. I I thought it had something to do with the half-elf fate and stuff thing. What the fuck? Is he her husband? Is he the one she's gonna be in love with? Oh fuck. Oh. The Romane Conti is not sister brother, it's husband wife? So she was pissed at Amelia for taking Pedlicuse away from her. And now she sees the authority and she thinks he's Pedlicuse. Subaru. Is she gonna act as an ally to us now? Holy fuck, okay. Whoa. Yeah. I think she's a creepy stalker. She's a creepy stalker. Oh, fuck. Okay, doesn't give us any power. Oh shit, she's gonna be mad at Betty. Oh, this is perfect. She's a jealous, spurned lover who's insane. Is this what they're all here for? Because if I stayed, you'd die. Oh yeah, give us an invite. What? Her illicit lover. Holy shit, he's such a dog. The worst thing that can happen is if we're maimed and don't die. And we don't know where we reset to. Oh, fuck, 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 fuck. Oh, no, no, no. Actually, could you come kill us? It's not gonna work. We reset to... Oh, this is bad. They just walk away white and black to different corners. Yeah, bleed out, bleed out, bleed out, bleed out. Okay, we're just gonna cut away. Fuck duck. Fuck a duck. Yeah. Almost like I know you. Weird, weird vibes. I love the little kid. It's just like, gorgeous dagger! You are the best! Fred is a little love. We're gonna put Fred in so much danger. What the... Gorgeous tiger! Don't leave me! Don't leave Fred! Fuck. I love Mind Elsa. I love Mind Elsa. It's the best thing the show's done. No. No. Not good. Oh. I bet he's a big shot of some kind. Where's my real dad? You don't want to blow up your mom's spot, dude. Whatever's going on, but he seems to already know. Okay. Oh. The whale. The whale. Maybe not, but like... So you found her in this rock slide? So fairly shortly after she left. Not the whale. Wow. Wow, that's really cool. What a cool story. So who are you? Yeah. I hope he can tell him. Come on, Garth. He's gonna be so worried that he's gonna break their... That's really sweet of you, Garth. That's really sweet of you, Garth, but... Thanks, Mimi. Okay, bye-bye. Gorgeous Mimi, the best sidekick. Gorgeous Mimi. Gorgeous Mimi, you better not eat all the snacks. What? No. I think so, man. You know. You knew from the moment one. All right, Mamie. Mimi, you gonna make me ugly cry. Mimi's gonna grow up to be so cool and hot. You know that, right? Fuck. Poor Garf. Yosh. Even though he knows now, it's so harsh. This is powerful. Whoa. Fuck. Cry. Why? There's another one? Capella Emeralda Lugunica? Oh, I've seen pictures of her. She's Lust. Shit. Fuck. She's the one with the hands that are hands. Oh, hi, buddy. Fuck. We're fucking alive? How's my leg? Oh, he's up. Did Beatrice heal him? He's running. Ah! Okay. Okay, we've got Fetty for yeah. For some of the healing. Okay. Okay. She's tuckered out. Shit. Like Puck, kind of. Thanks, Loose Pal. Yeah. Wow, Birko. This is really nailing everybody working for this. Huh? No. No. Mm-hmm. That's fine, Al. Yeah, what happened after the fucking announcement? Cool. This is really starting now. This is so cool. Wait, are you talking to the gem guy who is obsessed with the songstress? Okay. How about 4 of them, right? Maybe more if what Lai said is true. Otto's the only one who would know. Fuck, he's probably captured. They probably have Otto. We're back to the Team Rocket thing. That's really funny. That's really funny. Holy fuck. Oh, right. Yeah, we set that up at the very beginning. So they're holding the whole city hostage? I would be. That's good to some extent. Yeah. History lesson, history lesson, history lesson. Yeah, we heard that, but what? This is... Whoa. So we had the graveyard. Now we have another one. Oh, fuck. I knew we were putting Fred in danger. Fuck. Oh, Meteor. Okay, got it. My mind goes Team Rocket. That's so funny. But I forget which game a meteor is stolen. I'll protect them all. Yeah! Let's go, Garfu. This was fun. This was fun. We really are on our shonen shit. I love so much stuff here. There's plenty of, like, of little simple things. There's the core story build. Holy shit, there's a witch's remains in the city, and this is the attack point for all of this stuff. So it finally comes together as to a little bit of an understanding of what's going on here. Why are all our characters here, and why are all these enemies sort of converging here? It gives me almost a... Oh man, I love the idea of, like, buried secrets coming to light. It gives me almost a vibe of, like, Full Metal Alchemist, when everything is kind of converging, and we finally understand that it's like physical locations and the places of things that click into place, and we're like, oh, this is a big thing. Everything has to converge here, and it's important that it's here, and it's important that all these pieces are the way that they are. That's what it feels like here as we all converge in Pristella. It's like, there's this city, there's all this stuff going on, but there's a layer of secrets that we haven't tapped into, and I'm really excited to get into that Undercity style stuff. I hope that actually turns into, like, visually and physically in the Undercity, right? Because I imagine that there are waterways and canals and or like sewage pipes and industry stuff under the city that we could work with. Oh, that would be so cool. But also underneath, right? Metaphorically under. Okay. Witch's Remains creates a cool through line too, because our previous location was at the location of, like, a preserved witch's body, right? And it's like a through line. It's like, that's where things coagulate, where things happen, things spiral around these power centers, and the witch cult wants this body for something. My mind, I mean, it's like, it's resurrection, right? It's like something ritualistic. They want the body in order to bring a witch back. Of course. Maybe I'm fully fucking wrong. Or, you know, maybe you grind up the witch and make people eat the witch and that makes more witches, or who cares, right? But somebody a long time ago was like, witch preserves can't be destroyed. They have to be, like, trapped and held down and shit. I wonder which witch it is. Which witch? I don't know. And the whole city built as a trap. It's so fucking cool that comes through. I love that this is our like really real emotional, we're building Garf's story into a real emotional core. And I think that's where the majority of our like psychology sort of talk is going to happen in this episode, because that piece right in the center of the episode where Garf breaks through and breaks down is really important and really powerful. And I want to talk about it from a couple of different perspectives. Getting through the lyrics of the OP and using those as a way to understand our thematic background for the season, I think is really important here. We build this idea, this picture in my mind of a place full of potential, shattered and broken, where anyone reasonable would only see dire outcomes, right? Where what we need is that heroic spirit of the chance isn't 0 and so it's 100%, right? Where we need that like grit your teeth energy and choose the path energy. Because everything is broken, so we need somebody able to reach through the veil of the impossible and seize the future that's on the other side of it and turn it into reality. And that's what Subaru is present to do here. That's how we've built him. I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind. Because we're defining heroism here as we've defined it before. It's this striving. And it's this willingness to break down and build back up. It's really cool. Everything is kind of built around sawari in this episode, which is interesting. These little pastries. There are those pastries there, and then there are the ones that the mother cooks and all sorts. It's interesting how it through lines. Oh boy. They're all arriving. How cool. Very curious about the we, because he says I, but he also says we a couple times. And I guess maybe he means we, the whole us? No. He says it right here. Us, we're the sin archbishop of the witch cult representing gluttony. So maybe there are more of him, or maybe he's actually a pile of ants in the shape of a man. Or spiders in the shape of... Maybe he's spiders, man. Lai Baten Kaidos. I want to try to piece out what it is about Regulus's logic that characterizes the way that he thinks. Because I've been trying to figure it out for a couple of interactions with him. And I'm not exactly sure. We had that interaction where we bumped into each other. And he got really pissed. Because, like... A line was crossed in terms of the way that he believes people should relate to each other. He operates on rules. Rules of engagement, rules of propriety and respect. But he imposes those on others really harshly, almost as though the end goal is to punish them for breaking his rules. It reminds me of the kind of like office politics power plays, weirdly. Like, oh, I see that you're doing this. That's actually against company best practices. And so it would be best if you didn't do that. And that makes me better than you because I know that and you don't. There's something like that to it. No concept of common courtesy. It's like, this is the frame by which people are supposed to operate. And it is my rigid set of rules, and it's not, but he doesn't take any mind for that. It's like, this is the right way. And anyone who acts any way outside of that, it is for me to destroy them. Or like enforce them. And then the attitude that he gets is like, I guess this is what I should expect from inferior fucks. And it's an insult to me that you don't follow my rules. It's like a noble expecting everyone in a completely different country, in a completely different, like, caste, social class, to treat them with the same, like, respect and nobility that they're treated with outside of that civilization, right? In their previous one. It's weird. I'm not sure exactly how to piece out what it is that's so icky about it. I'd love some insights. Because it builds from there. It's like, this is wrong what you're doing, and also it's offensive to me, and it's offensive to me because it's a genuine violation of my rights, and then that justifies my retort. But as Subaru has found out, he found it out in the previous one too, if you just appease him, he settles back down. So there are ways to work around Regulus. Like, his goals are very specific. He's following, and he's very specific about following the gospel too. Very rule-driven. That might be the way to get around him or defeat him, right? It's an entirely natural degree of consideration. You're now aligned with my expectations, and so you're not a bump that I have to smooth over. Very, very interesting. I think maybe we had a bit before where he expressed that like everything was his, and so it is his purview to control the way that everything interacts. Some sentiment like that was expressed previously by him. And that kind of makes sense to me, I think. Okay. Fucking archbishops everywhere. It happens here too. How are you brought up? And then he doesn't lean into his anger. He only expresses his anger as it's normal for someone to feel angry about something like this, and therefore I feel angry, which is, it's backward, and it's interesting. It's not an uncommon thought pattern in people who like intellectualize their emotions, and it's often viewed, I think I'm having trouble with it because it's often viewed in like a reverse sense, where people use that sort of logic to de-justify their emotions. Like, well, I feel something, but it's not natural, it's not right for me to feel angry in a situation like this, and so I can't actually be feeling angry, and so what I actually feel is something else. But here it's like, he can't feel anything unless it fits in his logical worldview and his set of rules, and he abides emotionally by those rules. It's natural that I have the right to get revenge. Hilarious, that wrath belongs to me. And we discover that while they're wearing the same colors, they are not aligned. Really cool. Really interesting, and I wonder if we can turn them against each other. It is clear that neither of us are a match for him. He's a real problem. When he starts going emu, is that what he's calling the skill? Or is he about to say Amelia? I'm not sure, but it is pretty cool. It separates us from the world by half a step. What the fuck does that mean? Are we like quantum physics? Extra dimensions? Time? It's rad. I think it's really cool, and it fits with the theme of Subaru having these very particular powers that have potentially wide applications, but have to be used creatively. The ability to go out of joint with reality for half a step is super cool. Might be able to dodge projectiles, or get the drop on people, or, as we see, literally jump through a guy. Wild. Here we just use it to sort of fake him out and punch him in the face, which is a little bit dumb, but it's all a thwam in order to go ahead and get Amelia, and it doesn't fucking work. Again, you've got to be nice to girls, huh? I love this scene, especially with the dark background. Just good finger pointing. I wondered at the front of the episode, like, how are we gonna characterize Regulus's definition of love and reasoning for all of this? We have our answer. She purdy. That's all I need. So that's pretty thin. But it feels like the right answer for this kind of a situation. He doesn't want anything other than the surface level. He doesn't give a fuck who Amelia is. He just wants her. He's just greedy for her. And that's kind of the nature of, like, crushes, obsessive crushes, and limerent crushes. honestly, in most cases, getting to know the person underneath those infatuated circumstances is like the antidote to it, because you find out that they're actually a person, and this like sort of wild imagination that you have of them as being kind of perfect falls apart. And that's sort of the foundations of our real relationship with Amelia, is that, yeah, Subaru's attracted to her. She's pretty. But at core, he's discovered who she really is and cares about that person. So to have somebody else just interested in her because of her physical beauty, something that she doesn't even, like, at least previously didn't even like about herself, it's now come to like about herself because of the line in the last episode about Mother Fortuna. This is a good balance. I like the way that these two characters, the two attitudes clash. And after seeing him use the authority, she freaks the fuck out because that's her love. Betelgeuse. And we get some insight into that from Regulus. Honestly, I can't be bothered with this. Seeing that magic trick gave you this delusion. Yes, thank you, I'm sorry. I'm in the middle of something, please fuck off. I also like how much we have, like, hand gestures in this episode. They're really doing a lot to characterize the moments and make them feel more snappy. The Subaru hand gesturing was cool, and this here is really cool. She does, like, Quiet Coyote almost, and all these gestures. Get it through your head that it's creepy to take someone's family name and use your blind devotion as an excuse. He says, holding the girl he's stolen whose name he didn't know. Creepy indeed. In a way, a violation of his rights. And he's flipped. This is a piece that I was missing. He gets unreasonably angry about things, and he's usually the perpetrator of the exact same thing. Like, in circumstance, he could be found just as guilty. He walks into us when we bump shoulders, right? And then he gets pissed about it. He's violating Amelia's rights and Subaru's, and he gets pissed about them doing it. I guess the name thing isn't that, but on the flip side, like, any kind of actual introduction would be good. Weird. Okay, interesting. We loved each other. No, you didn't. You were clearly infatuated. You bring some spirit girl I've never seen, and you tell me to be patient? So she is infuriated at Amelia and at Betty, and at everyone. And now it's time to get actually going. Too cold and callous not to invite her illicit lover, so he bursts his leg. I don't understand what that has to do with inviting him to the wedding. Could someone try to explain that? That would help. You were exceptionally rude, but with this, now we're even. So it doesn't really appease him. Pain is proof we have life, and life exists to be proof of love. And even she prioritizes the gospel's orders. I like the two of them walking in different directions. I think it's really cool. Oh, boy. Poor Garf. Mimi's really insightful. As soon as the father arrives, he feels the need to get out because that's not his dad. And he feels like he's gonna destroy this. So, it starts here. Garf's core is rejected. And his core wound, in, like, attachment theory terms, is I'm defective. There's something wrong with me. That's why my mom left. And he's internalized it for so long, and it's been enforced and, like, made stronger in him for a long time, too. that when he gets into this situation where he could speak, he believes in his heart of hearts that entering this lovely family will destroy this lovely family because he's bad. He's glad that she's found some happiness here. He wants more than anything to have his mom back, to have some connection here. But he knows, in the way that children learn to know a thing, even if it's not true, he knows that he will bring nothing but pain here. Even if everyone here begs him to stay, he can't. So he runs, and he runs away. Running away in fear? But I don't think it's really fear. He thinks it's fear. Right? He's ashamed of this feeling. It's why his dark side voice inside his head tells him he would be ashamed. And he trips just by this lamp, which is also where he appears in the OP. He appears sitting by this lamp with Otto on the other side. We find out the truth. And the truth is that everything matches up. Absolutely, that's her. She lost her memory through a freak accident, it seems. Not the whale, not something sinister out there in the world, not an evil brainwashing cult, a landslide. Quite possibly on the journey when she left, like she might not have gotten a couple days out. She found someone who cared for her and loves her. So who are you? I'm no one and I have nothing to do with this, and Mimi just listens. And she's pure, right? His mom is pure, and her joy is clear. There's no attachment to this other life that she had. So how can he bring all that pain to her? How can he, this broken person who's from a different relationship, bring that into her life? I really like the sparkling lights in the background. I hope we use them a lot more here in the city. They serve as a great backdrop for these emotional moments. And then we have Mimi embrace him. And she claims in kind of little kid ways that she loves him, but I wonder about that. I wonder how serious she is. She really is quite mature. I know you're strong, but you don't have to put on a tough act. She smelled like you. And he's uncertain of it. He can't even believe it. Of course it's true. But introducing myself that way won't be good. She's just tangled up inside, and I've felt like that. Sure have. We live in a world, most nations on Earth, probably the one that you're sitting in, certainly in Japan, certainly in the United States, where men are socialized, and to some extent, there's like a strong historical precedent for it, but are socialized to compress emotionally, and socialized that expressions emotionally, external expressions of emotion are bad, wrong, weak. We show that here, we express that here by Mimi saying, "I'm in the right place for it," and offering her chest, her shoulder, to cry on. I think it's really powerful here. I think it's one of the things that men in particular, but everyone, but men get out of anime is a safe place to feel things, to relate to these characters that aren't real. And in their unrealness, they become a safe place to feel and to project and to experience and to let go. And often watching shows is solitary and can tap in and through separation from the self can let us undergo breakthroughs and undergo expression of some of the things that are stuck inside us. It's a really powerful thing to be able to let go like that. You're allowed to cry here. And it takes him back to infancy. I think a huge amount of what we seek in companionship and relation to others is the sense of warmth and connection that we felt in our infancy before it was broken apart by the reality of existence. For most of us, that isn't that our mom disappeared when we were a few years old. For some it is. But at some point, your mom stopped carrying you around. You know? And we can hope that your mother never stopped, like, hugging you or holding you. But I'm sure it became less frequent. And all sorts of things, all sorts of conflicts and reality, experience, the nature of life get in the way. And a lot of, I think, what we're trying to do is to return to that kind of a state. To be able to access that bit of safety. So watching Garf experience it here, as he's embraced by little Mimi, makes me think of the moments when I bury my head into my partner and feel safe. And I know in those moments, I feel in those moments the same as I did when I was a little kid on a plane, resting my head over on my mom's chest. And it's so strange to me that even with a very contentious relationship with my mom, and a sort of broken physical bond, that simple expression of touch and comfort echoes in me so deeply. And so I understand how Gar feels in this moment really, really strongly. And so I think I'm really grateful for the show for presenting it like this. Because it lets me see and experience and feel something in full and consciously that I've been feeling unconsciously for a little while. Which is, I think, gratitude for the ability to have someone to lean on and rest on and cry with if I need to. What a powerful thing it is to reach out and offer that security and safety to someone near you. That's the other part. I'm not a woman with a bosom, but I want to find more ways to create spaces of safety for people to feel fully. And I think my focus in that realm is on men. Because they're people like me. And because there are so few ways, I think, to really effectively break through that hardened, calcified layer of conditioning that separates many of us male people living in the world from our emotional selves and our core pre-wounding identities. and separates us from the tools that we would need to use to incorporate those identities. I think one of those one of the tools that we can use really effectively that doesn't require the kind of vulnerable intimacy that's so scary in genuine interpersonal relations is through media. And I know it because it works for me, and I know it because I read the comments, and I know it because I've watched and listened to other people express the same thing. And enough people who've felt disconnected and found their light in the light of a fucking screen. I know that this is one of the ways that we can unlock ourselves. And I am desperate to keep doing it. Because I think it saves people. I want to figure out how best to unlock that capacity in it for others. Because there's such a wealth of this good stuff out there. And it's like it just needs to be presented, alchemized, converted, changed. The perspective on it just needs to be twisted just a little bit to fit the mental map of so many people who are living their damage out instead of living their self out. And it's so strange to me and so beautiful that a show can produce the layering of experience and interpretation and someone else's experience and interpretation that gels into eureka, that gels into shifts in perspective, that creates catharsis, that allows a road to feeling, to more full feeling. I want that. I want that for myself, and I want that for others who need it. Yoshi. Ma. I love that we have this strong machismo, masculine character breakdown like this over something universal. It's pretty wonderful. Mimi about the triplets is so chipper, but it's so sad. So we eat our sawari. Holy fuck. Capella Emerada Lugunica. Is Capella a star? Yeah. Brightest star in the northern constellation of Auriga. Auriga is the charioteer. Okay. Also, her last name is Lugunica? What's up with that? It's quite curious. She reminds me of Blood Vampire Girl from My Hero Academia, which means there's probably an infinite amount of porn of her. That's probably good. That's fine. Thank God for magical healing. I've said previously that like my biggest worry is maiming without the ability to heal. Thank God for Fairy, and thank God for Byakuo. But now we're without Beatrice, our primary magical protector. We're without Amelia. We're fucked. But we do have our friends. And we have friends who are aligned all together and willing to work together to defeat something much bigger and much worse. The city is under threat, and everyone needs to band together to deal with this problem. They have a gun to the head of the entire city. Lust, wrath, greed, and gluttony are all here. The residents are sheltered, but they're all here to get the remains of the witch. What a very fucking exciting setup. Cool location, lots of moving pieces. Bam! Something messes everything up, and it's like a cue ball hitting a bunch of billiards, and they all just shatter out into different angles, and we're just gonna have to see where they land. I think our emotional beats in this episode with Garf and Gorgeous Tiger and his mom and Mimi are wonderful. I think the interactions between the Sin Archbishops are fascinating and strange. And I think our setup for Subaru having to strive here and like unite with all of these other chaotic factions and forces in order to accomplish this big broad goal and then his particular goals is really fucking cool. All in all, this is shaping up to be my favorite type of story that ReZero has told so far. I'm really excited to see how it flips the table over and over and over, and how we keep building the tension to something exciting and fun. I hope you're excited too, and I think we'll leave it there. Thank you so much for watching this episode of ReZero with me. You can get early access on the Patreon linked in the description, and I'll see you next week for more. Much love. Peace.